Hello and welcome to the Jewish Curiosity Podcast, where we ask questions and take journeys. We're in the midst of a journey to try and answer the question, who am I? And in this episode, we're going to discuss the Beit HaMikdash, the Holy Temple, and the fact that you may be more familiar with it than you really think. I hope you enjoy. There's little more iconic in Judaism than the Beit HaMikdash, than the Holy Temple. It was in this magnificent Jerusalem building that God's presence was most tangibly felt in this world. Even though it was destroyed almost 2,000 years ago now, our relationship with it continues until this day. Our prayers are filled with requests for its reconstruction. And when we pray, the direction that we face is towards the site that the temple stood. Now, if you've ever seen pictures of the temple, you may notice something quite peculiar. If you look closely, you may get the impression that you're looking in a mirror, that you're looking at a picture of yourself. If you get such an impression, that's because it's 100% true. That means to say, there are three sections of the temple, and these correspond to the three elements of the human experience, of human life. The innermost aspect of the temple was called the Holy of Holies, the Kodesh Kodashim. Now this corresponds to the human mind. The Holy of Holies contained the Torah, which is the thing which is all about the mind. It's the thing that we learn from. It's the thing that we think about. And this holiest part of the temple corresponds to the highest part of the human being. Going to the outermost part of the temple, we have the Chatzer, the courtyard. Now this corresponds to our physical actions, to our physical life. It was where the sacrifices would take place, which were a very hands-on, practical endeavor. And it was in this location where the temple would interface with the outside world. The transition between the temple and the outside world was in this space, and that is indeed our actions. Our actions are the human interface with the world around us. Now, between the inner and outer parts of the temple, we had an intermediate part of the temple, which was called the Heichal, the sanctuary. So this corresponds to the human character, the intermediate part of the human being. This is the way we're meant to live our life. We are meant to start with learning. We're meant to take that from our mind and integrate it into our character and become better people. And from there, we're meant to do something practical with that, do good things in the world. And this is the correspondence to the temple, where spiritual light and life came into the world through the Holy of Holies. It went from there. The light was received in the Heichal, in the sanctuary, by the menorah, by the candelabra, and it was passed down to the physical realm by the shulchan, and then in the Chatzer, in the courtyard, that was where all the practical events took place. Now, what were all these practical events? What were the actions which were taking place there? That was the sacrifices. The sacrifices are the most amazing thing. Sacrifices took representatives from every single thing in the physical world. In terms of inanimate objects, the representative was the salt, which was on the altar. Then in terms of plant life, the representative was the grain offerings. And in terms of animal life, of course, the representatives were all the different animal offerings. What would happen with all these? They would be taken by a human being, a Kohen. He would bring them all together and he would elevate them up to God. And this is what we're meant to be doing in life. We're meant to take everything in the physical world and elevate it, to give it purpose, to give it meaning, and to give it a spiritual destiny. So this is the temple, and this is us. We are a microcosm of the temple, both in terms of its structure, the three parts of the temple being the mind, the character, and the actions, and as well in terms of the function of the temple, the sacrifices, bringing everything together and elevating it, sending it up. So if you ever think that you're some kind of ordinary person living just an ordinary life, think again. You are an extraordinary person living an extraordinary life. You are a temple. I hope you enjoyed that episode of the Jewish Curiosity Podcast. If you want to find out more or check out more episodes, you can go to www.jewishcuriosity.com, or you can also find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Have an amazing day, and hope to see you next time.